YouTube. Can you hear me? Testing, testing, testing.
So we good?
Mm-hmm. Hey,
What's
everyone.
what's up, Instagram, Facebook, and most importantly, YouTube? How y'all doing tonight? Welcome to Rob's Room with my pretty co-host Shannon Bannon. Leave her hands on the cannon.
How did you
Yeah,
say my hands on the
yeah, man. This is the show where we can talk about the pimples on your booty, or we can go all the way into talking about who the president of the United States is. That's how raw we is. That's how real we is. We give you a street edge vibe with real topics and real conversations. I'm gonna turn it over to my pretty co-host. What's up with you, shorty?
Not a thing, not a thing. What we talking about today? What we doing? We doing it deep?
Yeah,
We
we're gonna
tapping
do.
the surface.
Yeah, we're gonna tap in and we're gonna tap in today.
All right,
Today
we
is
tapping
the
it. We
day
tapping
where
in.
we really tap in. Today's topic, we're gonna talk about solutions because at the end of the day, everybody always got an idea. Everybody always got something to say. But at the end of the day, where's the solutions? Give us solutions. That's what we need. We need solutions.
All right, what we starting with? Let me start with this quote. I read a quote today. When it comes to the problems, if you can't accept it, change it. If you can't change it, leave it. We're gonna start on that note. But we're here to talk about solutions.
Real quick, Shannon, can you read the first part of that again?
If you can't accept it, change it. If you can't change it, leave it. Got that?
That's deep.
Right?
I'm gonna go in on that. If you can't accept it, change it, because that's kind of like, I mean, you can come from a spiritual vibe or whatever the case may be. I gotta be blunt with you, man. Change starts from within, and that's the solution. That's the only way you're gonna solve that problem. You know what I mean? It starts within. Like, it starts with yourself. It starts with you first. You know what I mean? You gotta discipline, structure, and those words like that is what's gonna help you. Get you together.
And another thing to add to that, Michael Curl over on Facebook said, and if none of that works, bury it.
Absolutely.
Like that, Mike.
Nice
I like that, Mike. Appreciate
I'm
that.
gonna add that to the quote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that. So, we got a lot of. I don't want to really. What we doing? We doing specific topics, or we just talking about solutions?
No, we talking about solutions as a whole. I mean, we're gonna flow with it, let it go.
All right.
Do your thing.
All right. So I asked a couple of people today, to give me the first thing that popped in their mind when I gave them two words. The first word was problem. The second word was solution. So, most people said the same exact thing. I think I asked 6 people. They said the same exact thing. When they hear the word problem, they think of a solution, and when they hear the word solution, they think of progress, moving forward. What next? Different words, same meaning. So, since we're talking about solutions, it's a million questions that come along with solutions. Like, it's so easy. I say this. This is one of my sayings. Actually, I say this all the time. It's so easy to point the blame to this person can do this, that person can do that. We not accountability. I'm big on accountability.
Yeah, accountability, one of my key words too. I speak on that quite often as far as like people. You got so many victim players out here. I don't care what it is, what they do, and how they do it. Everybody's a victim. Everybody done something to them, and they can't seem to understand why and all that shit. My thing is, take accountability in the part that you play. You know what I mean? Own your shit first, and then everything else should follow. You can't be concerned about what everybody else can do. You need to focus on you and the part that you play, because this is one thing people don't understand. Your reaction is going to cause a different reaction. Your reaction, no matter what you do, is going to cause another reaction, and that's just what it is. That's just simple shit.
So, Rob, I have a question for you. What happens when it's not directly about you or involving you, what's the angle then?
Um, my thing is, I don't think I'm like a psychologist or anything like that, but I do think I give sound advice. Um, a lot of times people want you to pacify them or be easy with them because of their feelings or whatever the case may be. Me, I'm a person. I'm too hard edged. And if you don't want to hear the truth, don't ask me because I'm gonna give it to you straight raw and truthful and blunt and direct. And a lot of people can't handle that. You know what I mean? If you want the key to solving a problem, or you want the key to once again, like what the topic is, you want the key to the solution. You need to you if it's somebody on the outside looking in, sometimes people see stuff that you don't see. And when they say that, and when they spot some shit and they see some shit that you don't see, a lot of times if it don't apply, let it fly. If it apply to you and they see it and it's something you can adjust, because most of the time people be on the defensive for nothing. You know what I mean? Like everybody on the defensive worried about what somebody think or what somebody gonna say. My thing is get off the defensive and listen sometimes, because some of that advice be helpful if you ask me. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person I'm gonna listen to any and everybody if it makes sense. If it don't make sense and you talking stupid shit, that shit going one ear and out the other. You know what I mean? But if it's some shit that I think that I can apply to my life or whatever the case may be, I'm listening, and that's just me.
All right, let's dig a little bit deeper. So, and talking to a couple of people today, it's a million questions that came up. Um, the first question is, where do we start? Um, I personally feel like we start with the kids. We
Yes,
start with the
yes,
children. I think
yes.
we end up back there every time we talk about moving forward. Period. Where do we start? We start with the children. But how do we start with the children?
Well, how we start with the children. My thing is, I think people, in my opinion, like I say it all the time, and I be funny with it when I say it, but like, I think everybody turned to a bunch of like Dave Chappelle said, a bunch of bitch ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has gotten away from being stern. It don't hurt to be stern with your fucking kids, man. Be stern with them. When you say something, stand on that shit. No means no. Why don't people understand that? Like people act like they scared to tell their kids what they can and can't do in this day and age. I don't give a fuck what the media say, what the crackers say, what whoever say what. I'm still gonna whip my kids' ass. That's just me. They still will get punished. They still gonna be in trouble. Like that's just how it is. My thing is, you gotta have a sense of strength in that household where no means no, man. And a lot of
What you ain't had that growing up?
what?
The strength, the
Hell yeah,
All right, so did it work for you?
yeah.
It
It worked.
couldn't have.
Why you say that?
Then you ain't make no. You ain't never mix your words and say and talk about not going. You went to prison.
Yeah, but
So did it work?
yeah, it's still
How did it work?
because at the end of the day, you have a choice. We are given choices in life, and I chose to go this way, being rebellious.
All right, that's cool.
All right, so can I
But
jump
you're
in
talking
real quick before y'all dig past the topic? Thomas Drake said to your quote that you said in the beginning, he said also, or you can just get rid of it. Adrian Howard said people play victim and villain.
Yes, they do.
Tiffany Hurst said solutions are important with any problem. Don't come to me with a problem unless you have thought about a solution. It could be anything in life, work, relationships, even the way we think about things we go through in life. Whatever, you should go through it and come to her when you're ready for the solution. Then she came back and said, with solutions, you also got to think about the perspective.
So let me go back to what I was going to say, Rob. So, and this will touch on. I think her name is Tiffany. This will
Yes.
touch on that. Let's not forget about parents who sacrifice for their children. And when I say sacrifice, I mean where they live, what school they go to, their activities, and their child still chooses to go down a path that they don't want them to go
Right.
down to. Where
Hey,
do we
Adrian.
start?
I'm sorry, she's so
Where do we start? What do we do with those? It's a kid is going to be a kid. The environment is going to be whatever the environment is. But where do we start? Clean slate. Clean slate. Where do we start? What do we do? What's the goal? What do we need to do? Who do we talk to?
Well,
And what about the parents that see their children going down the wrong path, but they don't have any options because the system is designed for people that have already made these decisions and now they're in trouble, blah blah blah. What do we do as a community? What do we do?
Do you mind if I say something?
go ahead.
I'm gonna say, Shannon, to that is exactly what Rob said in the beginning. My kids are my kids. At the end of the day, you're gonna do what you want. But like he said, if I look for the man, the law, the state to give me the guidelines on my kids, they're gonna go every which way. I'm gonna give the foundation of what it is. In a biblical sense, if they train the child in the way they should go, in the long run, they get on track. So I don't care how many times that this brother been to jail. Where is he today? Where are you today?
As far as with me,
Since jail, what are you
Since
doing
jail?
now with yourself?
oh,
right
I'm
now?
doing a lot of positive with myself. As far as like I own businesses and home and vehicles, and I'm just like right
Not
now
to mention,
I coach.
the ladies love you.
I
You
coach
coach other
kids.
people's kids. So what I'm saying is, I'm just putting all that in there to say these are the things you learned as a child, as the Bible say. Train them how they should go. I'm training you how you gonna go. Yeah, you gonna hustle because everybody hustling. You got the fast money because they got it. You went to jail because the fuck that's what your hand called for at the time. But the long run, you went back to everything that you learned as a child. You had a topic you wanted to do like a week ago. I was like, well, that's a good topic. But you came back that night and was like, I ain't gonna do it because I talked to my dad and my dad said it's not a good idea. You still know now to go back and talk to your dad.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you learned that.
But it's a flip
It's
side.
not because I remember Ronald Reagan told us one time, because your father ain't let Ronald Reagan run his household when he was a kid. I'm saying Ronald Reagan because he was the president.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that to answer the question.
But I'm gonna say this, right? It's a flip side to every coin.
Yeah.
The show is called Rob's Room, which means that y'all, this is y'all gonna get the intimate side of me, and y'all gonna know who I am as a person. If you don't always know me, if you don't already know me. But let me put y'all deal with some good shit, and I'm gonna put a little bit of my personal shit in this. I'm dealing with that right now. I have a 13-year-old son. He just turned 14.
Is he 13 or 14?
He's 14.
Okay.
He's caught up in that shit where Shorty wants to do what he wants to do without being reprimanded, corrected, or punished. He when he lives with me, when he stays with me, I'm in his ass 24/7, 365. Take out the trash, pull your pants up, cut your hair, brush your teeth, wash your underarms. You stink. Go do that. Do this, do that. Wipe the toilet if you piss on it. Clean this, clean that. I'm in your ass, right? Now, we got in a situation where it's two different households that he's being taught things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm the disciplinarian and I'm giving my son law and I'm teaching him accountability and responsibility, and as a man, because regardless of what anybody say, no woman can teach a man to be a man, regardless of what. I mean, you may raise some fine young men, but you can't teach him how to be a man under no circumstance. I don't care what you say. Now, unfortunately, he's caught between two households. Now, this is the way that the households go. My household has structure and rules, period, point blank. He has guidelines that he has to follow. If he goes outside, he's a child. He just turned 14. You go outside, you got to be in the house by 8 o'clock. There's no ifs, ands, no buts, no exceptions. Not 8:10, not 8:20, 8 o'clock. You need to be in the house. He broke a rule, decided to call me at 8:45 and said my leg hurt. So I'm like, you punch, right? This is no, wasn't shit wrong with it.
I'm just asking.
His leg was hurting at 8 o'clock.
I know my child. And then I watched them and looked at them, and for somebody, for the leg, you ain't moving like your leg hurt. So my thing is, he played the parent against parent thing. See, at his other home, he can do what he wants, how he wants. You get what I'm saying? And I mean this in a literal sense. I mean, what children y'all know that's 13 years old or 14 years old come in the house 11, 12 o'clock at night? I'm talking about you dictate to your parents what you want to do, how you want to do it. You're never corrected. You're never beaten. You never punished. You never nothing. Because I hear parents 24/7, 365 say all the time, I ain't got to beat my kids. I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to do that. That's cool. What works for you works for you. But at the end of the day, understand this. Y'all parents, a lot of y'all parents that don't beat y'all kids and don't discipline them, they the motherfuckers that's out here as soon as y'all turn y'all back, busting other kids' heads. Trust me. Not all. Some going to debate that. Some going to have something to say. It is what it is. But you got to understand, I coach these kids. I sit, I listen to them, I hear how they talk, and take my time and talk to parents. My thing is, give me a solution of how in the hell we gonna reach these goddamn kids that's caught up in this social media shit, these video games, and all that shit, and you trying to teach them and raise them the right way, but as soon as you turn your head, they smoking. They want to do what they see or follow or what they think is popular, and all that other shit. I need a solution because I'm struggling with that very situation right now. And it's because I don't have another side that's going to assist me with this shit. I got one that's going against what I'm teaching.
All right, can I say this before y'all go any further? Over on Facebook, Thomas Drake said, you can beat your child. Sorry, Thomas.
There's a difference between beating and abuse too. Let's be clear. Like, you can whip your kid's ass, man. I ain't saying go get some thorn bushes and beat them till they bleed.
So for legal standpoints, we're going to say spank your children. He said you can spank your child, punish them. They still going to do what they want. It's like talking to a brick wall. Tiffany Hurston came in and said, acknowledge that children make mistakes. They are not perfect. And as my mother always told me, there is no perfect parent. And sometimes you will have to do the hardest thing, just being a parent. You will cry. We will see it is a problem. And sometimes you need a team for solutions. That sitting down with uncles and aunts and community members with a plan for our urban communities. Tiffany Hurston came back to say, I don't think one parent raise a child. I don't think two parents can raise a child.
A village.
You really need the whole village.
You do.
In the words of Toni Morrison. Adrian Howard, shout out to Adrian, came back to say, that's when you start to learn the manipulation game, when the parents aren't on the same accord. I definitely agree with that.
But let me say this specifically to you, Rob. I have spanked my children or disciplined them in the form of spanking or however you want to say it, but it didn't work to me. We said this before. We talked about it before. And to me, anybody that gets more than two spankings, it don't work. The first time is, oh shit, I got my ass beat.
I can't believe she did it.
Yeah. The second time is, oh, she for real. If you look at children, instead of them being your property, if you look at them as beings that we have to guide and teach, it's just a different angle. It's a different angle. We know these things, and we even know better most of the time because we've gone through it, we've experienced it. They have not experienced it. So beating, spanking, even sometimes punishing is not the answer. Sometimes you have to talk. Disappointment, I learned that disappointment talk to my children, and that's just me, but it's a different angle. To my children, always hurt. I'm disappointed. You know better. You're better than this. And something that I learned through family, the way we talk. Kids are going to be kids. They're going to try.
Facts.
We did the same
absolutely.
thing. We
Absolutely.
did the same thing.
You
Knowing that we
did
wrong, we still did shit that we knew better than, right? So I'll give you an example. You go in the store, your child decides they want to take a bottle of soda. They take a bottle of soda, and they get caught. They get in trouble. Police are called. They're involved. Instead of saying, "Oh, you're a fucking thief," we gotta change our tone too. We gotta start with us because our children are not thieves. That child is not a thief. Why are you stealing? You're not a thief.
I don't want to
We have to change the narrative so that they can think, but we have to think different. We have to change the narrative in our youth and our children so that they can get it that way. That's a big start. That's a big start. We know our children are not thieves or whatever the media, social media, or whoever the naysayers want to portray them as. They're not those people. So just changing the tone of your delivery is a big, that's a big difference.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Well, for me, I'm gonna let you go, V. Let me say this. For me, if you've been around me, you know me. You know I'm a tad bit aggressive. That's just me. It's in my voice. I'm loud. I talk loud. That's who I am. I've taken those approaches that you are speaking on. I've taken the calm down, mellow down, chill dad. Hey son, let's. I've taken that approach. I've taken the hey, hey man, I'm your homie, this, that, and the third. I'm your dad, but listen, man, you can boom, 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 boom. I've taken that approach. I've taken it. Look, motherfucker, I done told you do X, Y, and Z. I'm not gonna tell you again. Taking that approach. I've taken a, you know what I mean? I've taken so many, I've taken so many approaches that is funny. The thing is, at the end of the day, if what you are teaching your child, if your child has two parents, you got one trying to teach him go straight, and you got the other one saying fuck that, just go right, deliberately. Then what? Then what? You get what I'm saying?
So that's the problem.
So I'm gonna read some
What's
of
the
Instagram
solution?
real quick. Sean Dickey, 38, said I've been coaching high school basketball for 20 years. These kids, female and male, need structure, and we didn't show them love. We gotta stop disrespecting each other in front of them. That's a definite.
That's two. That's a
Also, Sean Dickey came back to say we gotta show them love between us, adults, and show them that it's okay to love each other.
well.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask
Go
you
ahead.
this because this is actually what I was really thinking. Ajane here, Kazo, she says, why are you taking different approaches? Why? Because what? How do you know something doesn't work?
Okay.
Because you okay. So let me ask you this. Let's start with this.
Okay.
Is your go to nature aggressive?
Yeah.
Okay. So if your go-to nature is aggressive and it hasn't worked, you've been so is it safe to say that you've been aggressive the whole most of the time?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know that don't work.
Right.
The aggressive nature don't work.
Exactly.
So whatever the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever the other options are, you haven't given them enough time to say that they don't work. Right?
No. Wrong.
If listen to my question. If he's 14, so if the aggressive nature, if that's your go-to nature, you've been aggressive most of his life. Probably safe to say all his life. You probably tried to be.
Let's be clear here. That's not like I got one of them kids that's like he's just coming to this little kid that he is right now. My son was like a good child. Like he's a good kid. He listens. I don't have no problem with him. With my son, it was more or less laughter and chilling. I ain't had to tell him too many things too many times. He would listen and he would do it. He's gotten to the point where now he's learned how to manipulate both the situations, because he can't manipulate me. So he learned how to manipulate the situations to starting to hang with the wrong kind of kids and being, let these kids persuade him and being a fucking follower. You know what I mean? So once that transpired and took place, it's what?
Everything you're saying, we're all going through that has a teenager. we've made it specific, so we're gonna talk about it because we got here.
I got
The topic is solutions. So since we're here and you're vulnerable enough to
put my shit out
to
there.
put your shit out there,
Yeah.
which we appreciate because we're all going through this. Anybody that has a teenager, we're all going through this. So let me say that. Let me start there. I appreciate it because that makes me feel much better because there's a lot of days I be like, I can't be the only motherfucker that's going through this. So let me say this. Prevention. Prevention. He's doing normal teenage shit.
Okay.
They're manipulative. Go back to when you were a teenager. He's not yes, he's going to try to play his mother and his father against each other because he knows and he recognizes that it's an issue with y'all. Right? That's not his fault.
But that's the thing. The thing is, it's not a thing where he's trying to play me against her. It's already her against me.
Oh, that's fine, but he's capitalizing on
it. He's capitalizing on it.
So
all
what
of that
I'm
goes
saying
back
is,
to what Sean Dickey 38 said on Instagram. So the issue is not the child. The child is actually very intelligent and know what to do and when.
Right.
The issue is the parents not loving each other,
but
not respecting each other enough to call her on the phone and say.
But here we go.
Well, wait, let me finish. Let me finish my statement out.
The problem is though.
No, let me finish the thought, please, ma'am. I know it's your show, but I just want to say on my end, what they're missing is the parents not talking to each other. Look over here, he did boom, boom, boom. This how we handling it. I appreciate it if you follow through when he over there. I ain't saying beat him when he get there because he already on punishment, but he can't do this, and this. Get him to the point when he come in the door. Take the trash out. You know, your father already told me. Happening. But it can happen.
How?
It's not.
It can.
That's
the part of being mature, adult, and realistic.
But this is why I stopped you because he's already explained that's not happening.
It's not going down.
Well, you got to get to that.
No.
Save your child, you get to it.
Because it can't happen. He don't have control over somebody else. This is what I started the show by saying. The problem is easy. We can say what the problem is. And he's not even saying he's the perfect parent. He's not saying that. He don't have control over the other situation. I'm not saying that so that's the problem. He don't have no control over it. What's the solution? Right. The solution
I'm giving you the solution. You're telling me no, it's not okay to say.
No. I'm not saying it's not okay to say. I'm just saying this is why you just basically told me
solution. The solution that I gave is not an option.
It's not.
For me.
It's insane to think that way.
It's not.
If you think that way, if you think it's tough as it is, it'll be tough.
Listen,
it'll stay tough.
Listen, but we're talking about a child. We don't have time for that. Because one wrong move, you get one chance. He sent his child to the other household. One wrong move, when she's not on his. Because what it sounds like to me is she's going against him just because he's saying if he say A, she gonna say B just because he said A.
Deliberate.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Deliberate.
So we know what the problem is. We're trying to talk about the solution. So the solution is to be proactive. So this is what I'm saying. Proactive. Get in front of it. You know how she thinks. You know how she is. Certain things you don't have control over, but certain things you do have control over. This is the whole point of the show. Problems are problems are problems are problems. It's going to always be What are the solutions? We can talk about this his mother or his aunt or his whoever. We can talk about that person all day, every day. What they're not doing, what they should be doing. And let's be honest. You don't have all the answers to what he should be doing. You just know that when you say A, they say B. Just because you said A.
Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there so that everybody can get an idea of what I'm dealing with, so that y'all don't understand. I've been dealing with my son's mother, where she has different ways of trying to manipulate him. She's done it over the years so many times, and it's gotten to the point when he's gotten older and he's wise enough to see, so he understands that the stuff that she was feeding him was lies. Now she's taken another approach. The approach that she has taken is this. Okay, I can't reach him that way. I can't lie to him no more. So what I'm going to do is, since he's the disciplinarian and he's the father with structure, I'ma just let him run wild and do whatever he want to do. I'm not gonna correct him, and I'm not gonna. And then when he gets in trouble, I'ma justify it. This woman justifies everything. She said that the reason he's doing it. She looked at me when he cussed the teacher. He cussed the teacher. Dead wrong. He noted. She said it's not his fault. He's not on his medicine. He got caught with 2 blunts in school and told them, like, I found I was going to smoke these. My mother and my grandmother know I smoke. She said he has a cannabis addiction. Like, what the fuck? Like, if you on this side and you're trying to rear your child a certain type of way, and that other parent not on the same page as you for whatever reason, and they doing the shit deliberately, what the fuck? How can you? Please, somebody, explain to me how can you deal with it?
Snickles leading lady 2 times over Instagram said, yes, I'm going through it right now with my son.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So your child is not a dummy.
No, he's not. He's very intelligent.
Right? Okay, so if you stop focusing so much, and this is just my opinion, if you stop focusing so much on what she's doing, not doing, saying, not saying, her bigger picture, and focus on strictly on your child. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, let me cut you off. I'm not focused on that. I just made mention of it to give you people an idea of what I'm dealing with.
I got you.
In no way, shape, or form am I concerned about anything that's going on with that lady.
I got you.
My problem is if I tell him go left and going left is the right way and you deliberately telling him to go right.
But why you say it's deliberate? I'm asking.
Okay.
Why you say because listen, do she really know better? Is this really her, or is it just not a big deal to her? Do she not care? Do she not see it as a problem? Do she look at it as a teenager just smoking weed because maybe she thinks teenagers smoke weed?
Again, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to make this about her.
No,
you get what I'm saying?
No, it's not about her. I'm asking you. Why you think that whatever she's doing?
Because her full purpose is she wants to control anything that pertains to being in my life. The broad is bitter.
But that you're not answering my question.
Don't nobody bite my head off. I just want to say this. Obviously, clearly, the things are intentional. The opposites that she's allowing to do is intentional. It's intentional because I've been here and Rob get the calls. Oh, you better get your son. He do something outrageous. Oh, because your son did this. You're deliberately putting him in there to be a beast. When intervention needs to be done, yeah, I'm coming, but I'm going to need to bring this family member with her notary public stamp. I need to go into your church. Your pastor going to come when I come. Somebody needs to be in the middle of that and hold her accountable for the mess. I'm not saying every parenting tip you do, Rob, is great. So don't take it like I'm taking it one-sided.
I'm not.
What I'm saying is the only way to come to a medium for the child is for the parents to have the intervention. The parents are the ones with the issue. The kid don't have the issue.
Okay.
I've sat and been with him by myself.
Let me stop you right there. I've tried.
Right. And I hear you.
No, hear me out. I asked her in the calmest, most peaceful, solution. Like, look, this ain't this. You got to put your ego to the side for a second.
Have anybody present?
Yeah. I was like, listen, you need to put your ego to the side for a second. I said, this is about him and what's going on. Because right now, these are critical years that's going to make him or break him. And you know what she told me? She looked me in my face and said, we can never co-parent. And I said, why? She gave no explanation. So when you're dealing with that kind of person, this is what people don't understand, because I know I'm not by myself with this.
You're absolutely not.
And when you're dealing with that kind of person, that's why these motherfucking children, what child in their right mind, because we were all kids before.
Right.
If I got the fucking option of dealing with, okay, I go to my father's house, damn, every time I turn around, clean something, take out trash, and I go to my mother's house, I could take my plate after I finish eating my food and push it on the side of the bed. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. I can just do that and I'm good. I ain't got to take a shower. They ain't going to be enforced. I ain't got to brush my teeth. I can get up. I can leave. Come and go as I please. Do whatever the fuck I want. Say what I want. Nobody's going to do nothing to me. What child not going to pick that?
I'm gonna love it. Real quick, Adrian Howard Smith said that's when they start to learn the manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, even if I missed some stuff before that. The game. I'm sorry. The game when the parents aren't on one accord. Tiffany Roberts said puberty. Tiffany Harrison said that was Tracy. I'm sorry. Tiffany Harrison said peer pressure is real, definitely.
Yes.
Tiffany Harrison came back with blowing horns. Said intervention. Tiffany Hurston again says solution.
Everything
Intervention start here. Adrian Howard said, I know all about it. Tiffany Hurston said, you and him, intervention, start here. Give him a safe place, a safe space to talk to somebody other than his parents.
So I got some people that are asking some questions. So to be clear, let's clear this up. We are talking about a bitter woman who is putting the bitterness before her child. Anything that Rob says, anything. If he says A, it's B, it's C. It's
she
D,
deliberately
it's
goes against it.
She deliberately goes against it because she knows and recognizes that the child is the only way and the only thing that can hurt, harm, affect him when it comes to her. He is in the middle of trying to, or not even, we're not going to say trying. He is in the middle of, and the process of getting custody of his child.
And she
is fighting tooth and nail. It is not an easy process for him. I've witnessed it myself. Yes, it is not easy, but he is doing all of those things. So I'm just in some aspects playing devil's advocate, and because you are not alone. You are not alone, and there are some women that are going through the same thing with men. So
I feel sorry, and then y'all defense, man, for y'all women out there, because I always say it, man, like good baby fathers get bad baby mothers, and good baby mothers get bad baby fathers. That's just the way that it go. And I gotta say this, man, for y'all women out here, man, that's struggling with a bitch ass nigga that's, well, since you ain't want to be with me, I ain't doing shit. And this, that, and the third. For any of y'all women that's going through that, man, I feel for y'all, because y'all don't understand. Like, it's deep with me when it comes to my motherfucking kids. I love my kids to death. And if you know me personally, you know how I am, how I interact, what I do, and how I'm not that seasonal dad. I'm not that nigga that think I did something because I bought you something for Christmas or your birthday or a holiday. No, motherfucker, I'm in my kids' lives every day. You know what I mean? I'm at school, PTA meetings, helping with homework, do your homework, wash dishes, do this, do that. I'm that parent. You know what I'm saying? So trust and believe, man, for all y'all women out there, man, that's dealing with the same issue, man. I feel for y'all, man, because as a man, I'm not gonna lie. I tell you in a heartbeat, that's my only weakness. My weakness is my motherfucking kids, and I ain't ashamed to say it. You know what I'm saying? I love my motherfucking kids more than anything in this world. And to deal with this type of shit and abroad knowing that shit, yo, that shit be crazy. Y'all don't know.
Like ruining your child on purpose.
Y'all don't know. Like, how can you deliberately fuck your child? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
But let me say this. This is why I asked you the question. The word deliberate. Maybe it's me. I don't maybe because I don't have them type of friends. But the word deliberate, I don't know that you can deliberately you gotta have something in you that's so fucked up that you can that you just go against any and everything that you think is right for your child.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The word deliberate is, that's why I asked you. How you know she deliberate with it? How you know she just not a fucked up and now two things can be true at the same time.
That too.
She can be doing things deliberately. There can be things that or issues that can come about that she may think, oh no, that's fucked up. But because he said A, I'm saying Z, right? But it just sounds like she a fucked up individual. Or as Tone say,
She's a funky bitch. Tone would say, Tone would say it in a heartbeat. She's a funky bitch.
Yeah, the two things can be true at the same time. And I honestly
so what would
feel
you say
like
the solution for this?
You asking me?
Yeah.
So I don't claim to know everything. I don't claim to know everything, and I must say I've been.
And anybody else that has
I'm very fortunate in this. I'm very fortunate to not have ever experienced these things. But all I can say is some things that I really truly stand by and I live my life by. When you are a good person and your intentions are good and pure, shit works out. It might not go how you think it should go, how you want it to go. It may be fucking stressful and all of the above. But shit always works out. All you have control over is you. You don't even really have control over your son. All you can do is talk to him. You can be honest with him. You can be open with him. You can share your experiences with him. That's what you have control over. You can reach outside. He's not the only child. You're not the only person. You can reach out to some people that have gone through similar. They may have resources that you don't know, just strictly don't know about because you've never experienced this before. People can DM you, they can call you, they can FaceTime you, they can call you on Instagram. However, we're opening that door for you.
And I appreciate it because I'm gonna be real with y'all. Like, I don't proclaim to be this, you know what I mean, this super thug, tough ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm a regular dude just like everybody else. But just don't back me in the corner. Don't get me out of pocket. My thing is, she has gotten me so out of pocket. Y'all have no idea. Like, it's crazy. I remember one time, like, the level of crazy that I'm dealing with. Like, because people, you might think you dealing with somebody crazy. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna let y'all talk. This woman staged a situation one night where she told my son I was going to kill him. And he believed it. Like, I don't know what so if that's not deliberate in your movements, or like something is psychological, something wrong, and for him to tell me that shit, you know how that shit made me feel. But not only that, let's take it one step further. What if he said this to somebody else's parent? You get what I'm saying? To where as though like he was really scared, and these people, that shit could have been a situation all because this bitch is bitter. When you get to the root of what, I ain't been with this woman since 2008. This is 2023. No. Who the fuck don't want to be with a woman that every time you talk to her, she got a mother with her and she talk too much and she
it's somebody out here for it. Don't put that negativity on her. Because maybe that's, don't put that.
Listen,
somebody want her.
I hope somebody get her. Please. Like, get her. It just keep her mind occupied and talk sense into her head and let her understand that that boy needs his father. He needs him. Because I don't want, I'm not saying, that go what I'm saying.
He needs his parents.
He needs his parents. You're right. He needs his parents. But what I'm saying is,
but he most definitely needs his father. He needs his
father.
I don't want
Right now, the problem out here, it ain't really the youngest. The young niggas is these young clowns, these young kids, all these boys we talking about, man. There wasn't no girls that did that shit down the harbor. You get what I'm saying? Like, these is young niggas and they doing it every day. I don't want my motherfucking son being no fucking statistic. Period. I don't want him going to jail. I understand that they're going to make their own decisions, just like I did. I chose my path. And I wasn't raised the way that I took. I'm going to be real with y'all. But come on, y'all.
So let me ask you this, because we're gonna go back to the solution. Um, Cuzzo asked, you think you getting your son and just keeping him? So if I understand this correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cuzzo. Um, I think what she's saying is, you think you, even when the custody is over, because we're gonna speak it that way. We're gonna speak it at, because we know that's gonna be the outcome of it. Once you get custody, do you think you're just gonna get custody and that's gonna be that?
No.
So let's talk solutions on that. It's about solutions. So let's talk solutions. Now you got your son. Now what? Because now he's emotionally damaged.
Mm-hmm.
And it may even feel like a punishment to him because you have structure. You have structure in you which he should have. So now what? Now what are we going to do going forward once you have custody of your son? What are we going to do to?
This is my solution to the situation. My solution is get somebody to talk to her and soften her heart, because when I tell you deliberate inactions, and I'm going back to what she does specifically, I literally heard this woman say to him on the phone, well, you know, your father punished you over there. I don't punish you here. Why don't you come home? What?
What's the solution?
What? Something. I mean, as far as something, it's her. Like,
no. I'm asking you. Let's get away from that. We know what the problem is.
Real quick, can I read this comment? Snickles leading lady 2 said she is trying to turn your son against you, feeding him lies and making you out to be the bad parent.
Right. The problem. What's the solution? You got your son. What are you gonna do now?
The only thing I can do is show him what I've been shown. Love, unconditional love, understanding, and talks. Because if we ain't do nothing else, me and Shorty talk every day. I pick him up from school. What's going on, Chan? Bible school.
All right. Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's cool. But talking ain't getting it, because it ain't getting it now. Right? So what we doing? What we doing going forward? You have your son.
That's the person. That's why I'm asking all of y'all. Listen.
What do you want to accomplish?
I know this is a Dr. Ruth moment.
No. But I'm because we're talking about solutions. Because like I said, it's so easy to talk
I need a
about
solution.
But you have solutions within yourself. They just haven't been. You've never been here before. So dig a little deeper. What are you trying to accomplish with your son? What types of conversations are you going to have? Where are y'all going to go? What are you going to do to heal him, to mend him? How are you going to dig deep with him to really understand?
You have the conversation.
Yeah. What conversations are you going to have with him for him to understand where you're coming from, and for you to understand where he's coming from? Because it's going to take some understanding.
Exactly. So I've had the conversation where I've let him know, like, listen, I don't want you to feel like you're restricted and can't say this and can't say that. This is an open door, sir. You know what I mean? Speak your mind. I'm your dad. I ain't here to hurt you. I got to hear what you say too. Your point matters. You know what I mean? Express to me, tell me what's wrong, what's going on. The only way we can solve the problems is if you talk to me about what's going on. You know what I mean? And you know one of the things he said? I don't like the fact that you and mom don't get along.
That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. So at the end of the day, when you on this end and you doing everything in your power to create a peace, and it's not big, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, yo, what more? Who not gonna be frustrated in that situation? Like, I don't give a fuck. We human at the end of the day. And it ain't but so much a motherfucker can take, yo. I don't care who you is. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm sitting here with you, right? Every show we come in here, I stand up, I smack you. But I do it in a playful way. You accept it. Like, Robbie, bro, yeah. Come in, do it next day. Do it again. You know what I mean? So now at this point, you like, man, look, I'm coming in here. I ain't with this shit today. He smacked me today. I swear to God, it's on. I smacked you anyway. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody has a breaking point. Everybody has, like, when it boils over, like when you get ready to explode. I've done everything. I've taken every necessary step there is.
That you know of. No, there's no necessary step.
Poor Lily over on Instagram said, I suggest family counseling and individual counseling.
Well, I can't speak for everybody, but I'm going to say this from a mental health standpoint, because that's another topic we're going to tackle during my show. But I'm going to say this. I'm currently in therapy now. You know what I mean? For those of you, I used to look at that shit like it was something wrong with you if you took therapy or if you did that, if you did, any of that shit. I'm currently in therapy. So therapy is very, very, very helpful. Believe it or not, it is. That shit is very helpful. But even in the midst of going to therapy, taking a high road, being a nice person, trying not to start shit, that don't give you still don't have control of the other person that's doing the stupid shit that they doing.
Over on Instagram, Big Mike said that's a tough situation. Keep pushing, bro. I'm gonna advise over on the other screen. You know it, but I'm gonna say the name for the people who don't know. On Facebook, she's Adrian Howard Smith. Her and her
My big
husband,
cousin.
yeah, her and her husband has an awesome program for fathers. They reach out with dads trying to gain custody. Within gaining the custody, I would suggest a family mediation session at least a couple times a month before they even willing to declare either one of you to get partial or full. You want in your paperwork for that mediation to be your primer, so that way it's overseen as a period of time.
My lawyer tried that. She's declined it. She doesn't want any mediation.
But that.
Well, she can decline what she wants, but your lawyer can put into the judge what he declared.
Right.
She can decline if you're asking.
Right,
but notice what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, like
in the legal documentation.
In the meantime,
because that way it'll show the judge that you're not just fighting to take your kid from her. Mm-hmm. You're fighting to co-parent as a whole.
Right.
That's what they need to see.
In the meantime, is he in therapy?
No.
Yes. You can do.
Yeah. Well, yes. He's in therapy. He goes over there, but he goes based off of her time, her place, and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying?
Is there any way that you can take control of that part?
Okay, I need to get control of getting my son back home where he was staying with me since January 7th.
You don't know what
he went to her. He went to her house. I've been to the school. I've done all this. He went to the house. He's gone over there. I've spoken to his friends. His friends called me. You know what I mean? Coach Rob, this, that, and the third, boom, boom, boom. Man, that boy said, man, I'm at my mother's house. I ain't trying to go back to my dad's house. I do what I literally, this is what they say. He said, I literally do what I want, how I want, when I want. Doug, I was just outside, man. It felt good to be outside and they ain't had to come in the house at 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna read some Instagram real quick. Snickles leading lady said, yes, therapy is good. She's in therapy herself. Rodney Pierce said, what it's gonna take to resolve the issue with her until what is it going to take to resolve the issues with her until that is done? Your healing can't begin. So until y'all get y'all thing together, it's not going to make a difference because every time that pot boil over, you're going to get splashed.
So
you're human. Nobody expect you to stand here and be brick.
I know what you're going to say. Yes, his grades were affected. Someone asked my best friend.
His grades were affected, but my son is in the 8th grade. He's getting ready. Understand like what I'm dealing with. I got a son that's getting ready to go to high school. He's on his way to the 9th grade. He's in 8th grade. His grades was affected because my son was expelled from school. He was expelled from school he was out of school for 36 days. That's a lot of time these days to be out of school. You know what I'm saying? So he missed a lot. I stayed on him. He did a lot of catch-up work. We worked together. He got his assignments completed. And by the time he got back in school, he was caught up. I did my part as his dad to make sure that he did his assignments. He did his homework. He studied. Because he loved to play the game. He liked to hoop. He liked to play football. He liked to box. He liked all that shit. But he knows how I am with that schoolwork. So he listens but that's what I'm saying. It's like when you come from a home, I keep trying to explain that to people, like it's hard. Like as a child, I mean, ask yourself that question. Like, what are you going to choose?
Absolutely.
What are you going to choose?
No.
What are
I
you
got
gonna
nowhere
choose?
to go. Well, I ain't
The
got to be
fuck, I ain't got to
responsible.
do
I can
shit.
do what I want. I'm
You
going
know what I
there.
mean? I'm
Absolutely.
going that. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's
And the thing
hard,
is,
man.
his adolescent
So
life,
have you?
he
And
hasn't even seen enough
I
to understand that the things that his dad is
right,
saying
right,
is real.
right.
I mean, I know Adrian is your cousin, but I want you to go to her and her husband as a client, and it makes a gigantic difference. Now, I have referred my own son, his uncle, like I refer everybody to them because I have seen the outcome of their programs. You
So
know,
and
they have been through things themselves with their cars being vandalized because that's how much of a difference that they make in people's lives. So I get where you're coming from. I also think, figure out a day, talk to the school. You got somebody you want to talk to them and maybe do 10 minutes. And we go to school
You
and
want to
I'll
know
get
what's
them in the
funny,
office
Big?
and talk to them.
Everything that you are suggesting,
Yeah.
I have done.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
that's
Rob,
that's the only thing. That's why I don't want nobody to think like I'm on some bullshit.
and that's
like,
why I was great. Say that for the cameras.
It's-
I don't want anybody to think that
Yeah.
you just in here
Yeah.
talking shit.
No.
I was actually somebody who you put your child in front of to talk to, and we resolved issues, Shannon. I mean, in minutes.
Yeah.
I got through to some shit that his mother had no idea was going on or why. She just thought he was being bad. Well, he really had a reason for all of it. So he's not. It's not like Rob is not trying.
oh, I got it.
Like I sit and hear Rob tell him, "This is what you do first in the
I'm
morning.
just curious,
Then you
have
eat,
you
blah
ever
blah blah."
had-
I just don't. I just want to say that for the record for anybody who's watching
Let's-
and think he just talking shit because
let's
he
be
on
honest.
live.
So this is my question. And I know you've had multiple millions, thousands, whatever conversations with her. But what is her fix to all of this? To be with you?
I think so.
Oh boy.
She'll never say that, but she need him to be miserable though. Real quick, Rodney
So if she
Pierce.
ain't with you, she don't want you to be. She wants you to be miserable, even if.
Listen, man.
Even let's say this. Let's say it. Let's say it.
I think I bullshit.
Let's say it. No. I want to say it though. I want us to say it.
Listen.
Her alternative, her fix is be with her or be miserable, even at the expense of her own child.
Yes.
Okay.
It shows. Even if she'll never admit it.
And we
that's
can't
exactly
do it.
what
That
it is.
ain't.
Rodney
ain't
Pierce, real
not-
quick, over on Instagram said, "Homie, your son is playing the end against the middle. Until he is presented a united front, he will dodge his responsibilities, and that there to me is the problem because he can't.
He can.
And what's crazy is
He can.
That's why I want everybody to know everything Rob is telling y'all he's done. I've sat here and watched him. I've sat here and helped him.
all I'm gonna say is this, man. Like, to understand and know what's what with me, you would actually have to see this shit like firsthand. Like, this shit is really, it's not a joke. I'm talking about I've cried a million times. When you so vulnerable and you feel so broke down that you can't do shit but sit there and cry like a fucking baby. I've done that. And it don't mean shit. Like, at the end of this woman, listen, man, she had a boyfriend at a point in time. Do you know that this woman told me in these exact words? She said, "I can't let you know where I live because I don't want you to mess up my situation." When I tell you,
Mess it up.
listen.
Yeah, because her focus was fucking his.
Listen. I start crying, laughing because I'm gonna tell y'all my interpretation of that. My interpretation was she got this guy thinking that I want her.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't want her. Now, what the fuck? I'm happy this nigga got your dumb ass. You feel me? Good. Maybe I can let me be the dad that I'm trying to be. And instead, it was bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit.
Real quick, over on Instagram, Big Mike said, "I know exactly where you coming from, Rob. Mike's situation with his ex-wife was the same way. And as long as I breathe, she will, whether me and Mike together or not, she will always do these things. But the intervention came because I was able to break down to little Mike. He old enough to know how the situation with his dad and I got started, what it is. So now she do shit I would sit and watch them make him cry the other day. But then I took him to the side, broke it down to the behaviors, because sometimes you gotta tell the kid what it is, and you gotta let the kid know what I'm giving you. What I'm giving you is useful to you.
That's tough.
That's
That's tough.
It's tough to do, but you
It's tough to
can't.
do.
he's 14. At 15, all he's gonna do is be even more reckless
I,
because he's gonna fall into
listen.
peer pressure.
So say, okay, let me give y'all an example, like of what I'm dealing. Another example of what I'm dealing with. So you call to talk to her in a mannerly voice. I know. Got get Tim. Oh, all right. Okay, so you call to talk to her in a cool, calm, and mannerly voice, and along doing so, you'll have this woman talk to you.
Nasty.
She'll talk to you in a narrative where she has made up in her head that this is true. So she'll talk to you like, so being as though, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Like, she'll say some shit like this. Or being as though you don't do nothing for our son, and she told me that I just came into his life and just started helping him when he turned 12. Yo, bitch, what the coke you smoking? Like it's like what the fuck? But she'll talk. But what I'm saying is, she will talk to me. She will talk to me like this, like normal, like this is real, like what she's saying. And I look at her, so immediately the conversation goes left. So then I took another approach, where as though I'm already ahead of the game. I know she's going to say these things, deflect, and try to move forward. Even with doing that, it don't work. So what I'm trying to get people, like the topic of the show is called solutions. If you can give me a solution for this shit, you the greatest. Because what I deal with is, if this shit ain't normal, fam, it's not.
It's not. And a lot of people deal with it, but they won't go on live and say, truthfully, like you're being true, this is what I go through. Rodney Pierce over on Instagram said, my brother, I can see your pain, and I have felt your pain, but you're going to have to break your son down emotionally. He is going to have to see the consequences of real life before his time. And that's the toughest part, but that's going to be the only way to get it. A lot of times, I know a lot of people told me that with my youngest son, you're going to have to let life him. And I ain't going to be able to do that.
No, listen, man. Hey, Rodney Pierce, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you, right?
It's easy for people to say.
You get people to say shit, and they don't really mean it, right? I'm going to say this, and I mean this in all sincerity, with every ounce of I breathe, with every ounce of my body and every breath that I breathe, bro. I will die for mine. That's who I am. I'm a die for mine. Straight up.
I'm talking about.
Like, I ain't even gonna bullshit you. Like, that's me. I don't give a fuck what's going on. They mine. You feel me? So, like, for Shorty to be like how he be, it's like he know. Yo, I had a talk, and it's no brag shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna be real. On his birthday, Kamel's birthday is March 3rd.
Congratulations.
That little boy crazy. I took him, it was his day, he turned 14. What you want to do, kid? It's your call. We gonna do whatever you want to do. Go wherever you want to go. You pick a state. What you want to do? Shorty said, I want my friends to come over and stay the night for the weekend. And I want you to take us to Texas Roadhouse. I want to go to Sky Zone on the night that it's popping. And we can do something in here together with you. I was like, oh damn, that's what's up. We go to Texas Roadhouse, we come back, we in the house, we're talking. I'm sitting in the basement because them little kids look up to me. They admire me. Like, they come in the house, they looking at the house, they looking at the cars I drive, the way I dress and shit. They always like, hey, Coach Rob. They think they really think like I'm rich, and I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I just work hard. So these little kids, we talking in the basement, and you know that two of his friends was like, yo, Mr. Coach Rob, I ain't gonna lie, I wish you was my father. Because what you asking, that's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, they said that to me, and it touched me. I was like, damn. Like, y'all wish I was your father. They was like, no, you crazy, yo. All he telling you to do is take the trash out and keep yourself clean your room, and go to school. Easy shit. I'm not asking him to do nothing out of the ordinary. He don't want to be clean. I don't know where he get that shit from, because if you know me, I smell good every motherfucking
I'm gonna
day.
tell you this prissy nigga, Shannon, brought me some dinner today. Oh, I just want you to know the stuff on the top you can microwave, your cold plate under the bottom. I said the nigga done broke the food down. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
No, I'm just saying, if you know me,
You
like,
know, most people just go pile all that shit together.
I'm real big on cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is brush your teeth, wash your ass, change your clothes, like everything. But this little nigga he get influenced.
Stop calling him a little nigga.
That's my little nigga.
I don't like that.
Okay. This little guy. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't
And
want
of course, y'all, let me say, for the record, Rob mean no disrespect. He loves this kid. I mean, monitor them on the camera. Make sure
We
he
changing
Rob
the narrative.
loves
We
this
changing
kid.
our words.
I don't want nobody to think that.
We trying to change the narrative.
I know, I'm just saying
But-
for the sake of being the owner. Don't
Thank
take
you.
nothing in disrespect. Real quick, let me get this comment. Tyrell Vincent said the solution is to genuinely grow a bond with the child and the mother when things go astray. That child is at age 14, will understand how you feel about him.
Well, we talking about a child that we'll have a talk and this, that, and third. This boy wants Balenciagas and the Mary shoes and off.
Your mother buying those things?
No.
Okay.
The thing, his mother will buy him some Yeezys.
Have you used that as an angle?
What you mean?
This for the next 2 months.
No, there's nothing wrong with people.
Right.
It's a lot of people that find
Listen.
stuff like that.
Listen.
Listen, you work hard, you play hard.
This is how I carry him. I'm like, look, this is the goal. These are the goals. You do this, I go get these Balenciagas. You want those Balenciagas? Fine. I'm talking about he online. Dad, I like these. You like these? They ain't particularly my style, but you like them? Because that's what it's about. It's about what you like. You like them? Yeah. I'm just not gonna let you buy no girly shit. I don't care about none of that other shit. But at the end of the day, I spoil them and all that shit. Like
Another question came up. Tyrell Vincent said, how long have you been in his life?
his whole life, bruh. Let's be clear. My son was born March the 3rd down Mercy Hospital.
You've been there since day one.
I've been in my child's life.
So Tyrell,
his whole
it sounds
life.
more like once the relationship with him and the mom split, the mom started cutting
Well,
out.
well,
And once
well-
you got into other relationships, she really cut
Well,
out.
Terrell, let me break this down to you, bro, so that you can have a complete
Yeah,
understanding.
just let him understand.
I'm gonna put you on point like this. The problem is, and I don't want to be with her. So she's been making it difficult. When I say difficult, she'll go as far as like she has patterns. So what she would do is, say I get him and he stays with me for the weekend. We having such a great time. Carmel starts saying to me, I don't want to go home. And I'm like, well, man, you gotta go home, man. And he'll cry. Like, I got video of
Why
this
you
shit.
gotta go home?
Huh?
Why you gotta go home?
Because that's her day.
We had an agreement, me and her, a verbal agreement where
Nah.
But
I'm-
neither of you have custody.
I get that.
No, I'm asking.
No,
Okay.
I didn't have knowledge of the custody
But the
thing. at
fairness
first.
is the fair.
So my thing was, it's like, okay, if you tell me I have my son, and he goes to school for- he lives with you, I have no problem with that. So where I'm at with it, this is what I'm doing. I'm following the rules and the guidelines of what she set.
Mhm.
Staying in them parameters.
And from my own self point of view, I believe it's only fair. Because Sunday would come and Lord Mike would just cry. His father would cry. Neither one of them want to separate. But for me, he needed his mother too. The fact that she agreed to it, Lord Mike, go here. You're only there from Sunday night to Wednesday after school.
So-
it's time for you to go to your mother.
So what started happening was he would say stuff like, I don't want to go there.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, don't worry about it, baby. I'll be back to get you the weekend. It's that's only a few days. Calm down. You can call me. You know what I mean? I'm here. He would go in the house and he would quote that to her, like, I don't want to be here. I want to live with my dad. So she had a pattern. So what she would do is she would call me and start a fake argument. Like anything, like it'd be anything, some stupid shit. He left his fucking shoes at your house. And I'm like, ho, why are you calling me like this? And she'll zap the fuck out. So listen. She'll say what she say. She hang up. Go to call back. I'm blocked. Right?
Mhm.
During that time, she'll keep him away from me anywhere between 2 months and 90 days. 2 months to 3 months. By the time I get him again, the way he felt is different. He's not that way until he get up under me after like 2 days.
So let me ask you this: she's not keeping her end of the bargain, and I'm just asking. She's not keeping up her end of the bargain. You are. You trying to play fair. You working. You're saying with an insane person. You trying to be logical with
somebody who's not.
with somebody that's not right.
Mm-hmm.
So if your son is telling you, if this happened more than once, if your son is telling you, I don't want to go back there, and she has already shown you behavior that's not consistent with whatever your agreement is, if it's not a lawful agreement, if it's not under the law, then why would you send your son back?
At the time, the lifestyle that I was living, I didn't want him around.
Okay.
I was in them streets heavy.
Okay.
And it wasn't fair to him to be with me during that time and the shit that I was doing. Now, as he got older, once I've been...
So the arrangement was conducive to everybody.
Right. So you got to keep in mind, like right now, I've been removed from the streets for like 10 years. So, like, yeah, I'm pushing 10. It's like 9. So, me being removed from the streets, it's like, it's a whole different thing. So, keep in mind, while I was in the streets and shit like that, I ain't had an education on the custody and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? And nor did I want to take the time to sit down and this, that, and the third. They like figure it out and get custody of your son. I'm like, man, I ain't going through all that. This bitch gonna get right and boom, boom, boom. I give her this money. I give her that money because with her, it's about money. Boom, 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 boom. That shit don't work.
Yeah, because it's like a baby. You took my pacifier, you think I'm not going to cry? She going to cry her fucking head off.
Wow.
That's just what it is. And now it's time to...
Yeah.
So now it's time to revamp.
Yeah, I pay child support right now, but because we're in a custody battle, oh yeah, this is the last thing, and then we wrap.
I'm gonna read this comment then before you go, so that way you don't have to go back to any comments. Rodney Pierce said your son understands what he's doing and is benefiting from the distinction between y'all. Again, you have to know he is aware of his behavior, and I have to say from what we've been talking about for the last few months, Rob is aware of his son behavior and what his son knows. He's just trying to find a medium to downplay it and raise his kid right on his end. But he just wants his mother to stop intervening in all the great.
Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna say, because I know motherfuckers like that shit crazy, but I'm gonna tell y'all just how crazy she is and how money hungry she is. She the type of people, I don't think y'all are aware of this, but child support, we're dealing with child support. When you got they got a thing down there where it's called, and I know I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway, fuck it. They got a list down there where it's called nuisance parents, where you got those parents where they deliberately, they keep calling down there, they want raises, they try to get you locked up and this, that, and the third. Right. You have women out here that's doing that. They're literally...
Oh, yeah, they put them on the list.
They're on the list. They're on the list. It's called nuisance parents. That's what they say. So, listen, she was on that list. So she was, we talking about a person that calls down there. She trying to get them to take my CDLs. She trying to do this and do that. So they're looking at her and they're like, well, he's making his payments. Like, what's the problem? You know what I mean? But she's still trying. So since we going through a custody battle, I went down child support and I presented them with my paperwork. What they do is they stop payment immediately to her. And they put that in an account, an escrow basically, where all the money that you paying, it go to them. She don't get it. She's mad that she not getting the money, so she went and filed an order, and I gotta go to motherfucking contempt court. May the 8th.
Please show up.
No, look, listen. I gotta go to court for being in contempt for not paying child support. So now my lawyer was like, I'm not understanding, because how would they allow her to file that when you presented them with the paperwork to show that?
I'm going to tell you how a friend, baby mother, had another piece of paper. I guess she must have did something the same thing. And the child support office gave her the money out of escrow. When he went to go contest what she did, they already was like, well, we can't take the money back. And this boy got none of the money back. and still end up getting custody of the kids by the time they was finished therapy. I'm telling you, when you get a chance, sit down and talk to Adrian as a client, not as her customer. Real quick, Terrell Vincent said, I can understand where you're coming from. I have a child that is not biologically mine, and just recently found out I've been in her life since she was 3 months old, and respect her as I'm her father, even though he was around. I guess the biological dad was around. He said, "Don't lose focus on the relationship with the mother. Just keep focusing on the child, because in the long run, that's going to go to where it's going to go. Even if it's when you get 18 or legally, just keep on staying focused with him. That's all you can really do. Because listening to her, she's gonna keep you wigged out. Because she sound like an issue. Everything the court sends, stay on top of it.
Last thing that I'm gonna say, and Shannon, I'm gonna pass you. You know what I mean. In closing,
Yeah, because we got.
In closing, y'all, because we gotta get out of here. Solutions to the problems. Everybody got a different way of gaining their solutions. As for me, I haven't quite found a solution to my situation.
And everybody's situation
Um,
is different.
everybody
level is different.
Everybody was gonna say that.
Appreciate what y'all had to say, but how you deal with your shit, yo, is gonna be how you have to deal with it.
Like I was gonna say that. Like everybody's situation is different. Everybody's predicaments are different. Everybody's life is different. Your lifestyle different. Everything that you do is definitely different for me. I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate everybody's advice, everybody's good word, everybody that spoke. You know, in terms of saying what a nigga going through for real. I appreciate your advice, but just know that everybody,
no buts.
Everybody's situation is different, and it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. It's harder than you think to deal with. Shannon, what you got to say on the way
out? I wanna. Are you open to people reaching out to you via
absolutely
social media?
Absolutely.
All right. Anybody that has any comments, questions, help, solutions, whatever suggestions, you can reach out to Rob at what's your Instagram?
Instagram Rob _ King 1976, and on Facebook just Rob King.
And I cannot think of the name of the program right now, but I will give y'all again her name on Facebook. Adrian Howard Smith. Her and her husband has an awesome program. I have seen the outcomes
of the people
that they have helped. And I'm just saying for anybody else who's going through this program, I mean, they diligently help from the front to the court to getting you clothes on what to wear to court. Adrian and her husband program.
Yeah, their program
awesome.
Is the shit.
They have a live show on Thursdays on online radio, WMEG. I wouldn't even, knock them. I want to give them a shout out because Adrian and her husband being on that program, being on that station is a big plus. Mm-hmm. And Adrian, if you're listening, ready to leave and looking for a new home, you're my girl.
So we're going to end this with thank you, a big thank you. This was a very vulnerable moment for us. It was about solutions, and Rob opened up to us. That's big. That's big. That's real big.
To be transparent.
Yeah, being transparent, being vulnerable, talking to us about
personal shit.
Personal stuff.
Yeah, that was deep.
And therapy. That's big. That's big. So we'll be back next week, y'all.
We see y'all next Tuesday on Rob's Room. Rob, Shannon, and you, of course, the sexy engineer, Ms. V, back there.
Tomorrow. 6 p.m.
At 6 p.m. we got an interview that we're conducting.
No, tomorrow at 6 p.m. we got a brand new show.
Oh, we got a brand new show.
Called True Grit. And it's going to be all the way live.
And not forget.
The host on the show fuck around and get the fight. That's how real we get.
And not forget, the motherfucking Bro Show will be in effect tomorrow
7:30. Following True Grit. Please tune in.
So if you can tune in, I appreciate the support from everybody. I thank y'all. I love all of y'all, man. Peace.